Good morning, everybody. Okay, this is about the third or fourth hour on this and the third day. Okay, I'm just doing a little bit here and there on it. But let me show you what's going on here. And I've got everything cleared out, and I've got all the bolts removed from my valve covers, both sides. Now then, let me go over some of the tools that I've been dragging out here. I got some American wrenches, metric wrenches, American metric, American metric, and various little and different devices here I like to use. I went over talking about these thumb drives. I really like those. I like using longer extensions than needed. Sometimes not that long, but sometimes comes in handy. Cheater bars. I'm an old guy these days. Magnets, along with magnets inside your socket. I think, yeah, I've got them in here, see? And when I pull that off, I got magnets inside there. Those are little rare earth magnets, 1/4-inch magnets, and they keep your nuts and bolts from falling out of your sockets and going into the gravel. And once it hits that, you can't hardly find it anymore. Okay, and the big tool for today is this compression check that I bought from Harbor Freight. I think it's $120, and it specifically has 7.3s on their description. So I hope that it'll go on there without having to do any kind of modifications. And today, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop those valve covers off, and this is the first time it's come off. There it is. That's what I'm left with. I'm going to pull the glow plugs out and do the compression check, and I'll know what I want to do with this truck after that. We're close to 400,000, 391,000 and change. All right, stay tuned. It's going to be great. All right, well, my first impressions of this engine, like I said, close to 400,000 on it, is it's really clean in there. Keeping that oil clean has really made a big difference. I don't know how many old cars I used to pull apart, and man, under the valve cover, it was all kinds of gooey looking crud. But this looks like, I mean, to untrained eye, it looks to me like it's really, really new. Anyway, we're going after the glow plugs. Let's see. And this wire right there, that little white looking wire, that's going right down to the glow plug. So I'm going to pull that cap. Underneath it's going to be the glow plug, and I'm going to remove the glow plug. That's a game plan. Okay, and okay, start over. The glow plug wire has a little cap on it, and what I'm doing is just taking my hook tool and putting it under the bottom edge of the cap and pulling it off. I don't want to tug on the wires, but I guess you could if you had to, but that's how I'm taking them off. Just like that, and then I'll use the hook tool to, my fingers are too dadgum big to get in there. Just pull it up and get it out of the way. All right, and with a 10mm wrench on the glow plug down there, you just back it off. I just pulled the first one out. This is what it looks like. coming right out of the engine. All right, 7 more to go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and test this first one that I pulled out. I got this set on ohms, and my test leads are in. I'm gonna ground one end, maybe. Try this again with my test leads. There we go. I'm going to touch the body and touch the probe end, and I get no ohms at all. And don't quote me on this, but I believe they should be 6, but definitely not 0. There we go, just touching the leads together. It works, but I don't get any continuity to here. Nothing. Okay, so it proves that that's bad. Action. All right, here we go. We're going on to the right valve cover. Everything's off, out of the way. We're about to find out if we can take it off without loosening the compressor. Okay, dig around in here a little bit. Got all the bolts, all the connectors out. And let's see what is going to be the verdict. Get it over those rocker arms. Move stuff out of the way a little bit. Keep it tight. It's going to be tight. Look at there. I think I got something. Past the rocker arm anyway. In the front. Wiring harness getting right in my way here. Look at there. Okay, it made it out. A little bit of rumble and jumble, but we got it out. Okay, so on the right side, same as the left side, what's been working for me is this long extension, quarter-inch extension with a 10mm socket, deep side. Just using the little thing there. This little ratchet is enough to break them so far, every one on that side. So, and they hadn't been really tight, so that's what I got to do on this side. Oh, first of all, I got to remove all the caps again, and then I'll be taking them off. Okay, using this little hook tool to get underneath the edge of the cap and pop it off. Helps to be able to see it. I don't think I'm going to reuse this wiring harness again, but I may, so I don't want to damage it. Can't even see what I'm doing on this side. There we go, there's one up out of the way. Get that booger up out of the way there a little bit. Try not to be too rugged with them. And out of the way. They come off pretty easy. It's just a matter of getting the tool in the right place. And I've noticed I've got a lot of oil on my back cylinders when I take those out. So I hope that doesn't mean anything is filling my cylinders, so we'll see. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to bump into you there, bad. My bad, my bad. Just want you to see. Okay, here we go. So what I've got is my 10 millimeter started on there, on the glow plug. And then I'm gonna break this one loose and see how hard it is. Nope, not very hard. Maybe 15 or 20 pounds. Not sure what the torque's supposed to be on these. One thing I want to point out is there's some pretty big gaping holes in these heads where the oil flows back. You don't want to drop anything in there. I'm sure that goes without saying, but be extremely careful. Don't drop any of your tools in there. All right, so we're gonna open this box up and see what's in it here. I'm not gonna be able to do this without putting this camera down, so I'm gonna put it down. When I get it open, we'll go from there. So this is what we get in our Maddox Master Diesel Compression Test Kit. And it's got a little list of everything on here, what's in it, some specifications. Right in here it says power stroke. So we're gonna go with power stroke. It says it's number 14. That says 14. This would be it looks like the right size. And I'm sure that's going to clip onto here, and the whole gizmo is going to screw into the truck, into the glow plug points, or ports, I should say. Okay, it looks like it should work. I hope the threads match, and we'll see. So it looks like the tool threaded in correctly. I've got the gauge snapped onto it, cleared everything out of the way. And I'm going to give it a crank, see what the compression is there. Do that on every cylinder. All right, so after screwing the adapter there into each one of the glow plug holes, these are my results it came out with. So I think we're going to make it okay with that motor. Okay, so I'm going after this wiring connection right here. That's on top of that PCI, I think it's called. It's a little coil that fluctuates voltages and changes the pressure of the oil, that changes the injectors. It's all controlled by that little plug there. I get that off, and I'm going to slide that thing out. That's going to be one of the parts I'm replacing. Got this hook tool right under that wire, lift it up. I should be able to pull that wiring harness off now, but I'm going to need my other hand. Okay, trying to get enough light down there where you can see what's going on, but I raised that little wire, and now that plug will go straight back and come off. Trying to get it where I could show you. There you see, it just comes right out the back. I can't do it like this, but I think you can figure that out. You can see it's coming out. And that's the the nut I just took off right there. It's not much of a nut, but it's all it needs. Now I've got the nut off. I am just pulling the coil off. It just slides back. There's a little spacer I've caught also. See if I can get my hand out of there. And here's the little solenoid coil and the spacer that goes on the end. Like that. Yeah, that's the ticket, like that. Could go like this, but it goes like that. And that's what's left, that shaft sticking out there. And then I'm gonna get a long, deep socket to pull that out. All right, so before I can get down there, I've got my socket on it. I'm gonna get rid of this little vacuum control here. I'm gonna pull this green harness off, green wiring harness. Just move it out of the way. Then I'm gonna take off, it looks like 8mm bolt down there. Take it off and move this thing out of the way. Okay, and 8mm is correct to get that off. I'm just gonna take that off and move it out of the way. Okay, and this is what that PCI looks like out of the truck. This little nut is the first one that came off. This little piece right here is that spacer. And then this piece just slides off. And then you wound up with a deep well 1 1/8 inch. And it's a very deep one. Mine just barely caught it, but I was able to manage it.